So with it being Thanksgiving, let's continue on that track. Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Y'all get any good stuff?
It was kind of, as the kids would say nowadays, Black Friday was kind of mid. Ain't that how they use it?
Meh,
Are they using it?
meh,
No, I've heard it say
MEH.
mid. I've heard MID. I'm gonna
Mid.
have to look
Oh,
that up.
okay.
Mid, as
Oh,
in
mid for
high,
new. Oh, okay. But it was
mid,
just like
low.
right, like
Yeah, yeah,
average.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's what the
Especially with,
kids are saying.
yeah, that's what the young folks are saying. It was mid this year. But especially with Apple, they some busters when it comes to
Yeah, they
Black
don't be
Friday deals.
offering. Yeah, they don't
They
do that at
offer
all.
a deal, but it's like you buy something, get a gift card that you can use toward the purchase of something else. Well,
Wow.
I'm buying the thing that I want the deal on. I don't
Right.
want to buy the thing just to try to get a deal on something else, So Apple's kind of a letdown when it comes to Black Friday. One of the popular, not the popular things, probably what is becoming even more mainstream now is buy black on Black Friday. So
Hmm.
bought a couple hoodies, bought a couple t-shirts,
Mm-hmm.
bought some, my wife's birthday is coming up next week. So I got her some items, crossed some items off her list to make sure they was buy black. So I did some of that. And then bought a treadmill for Black Friday. So me and my wife researched it. So we're gonna amp up these New Year's
Now all you
resolutions.
gotta do is use it.
And now you got to do is use it, which is that ain't even paying upwards of $1,000+ for a treadmill.
Mhm.
Ain't the hard part. The hard part is using that joint.
Getting on that
Getting
joke.
on, not letting it become that
Towel
valet
rack,
in
the
your,
towel
yes,
rack.
the very expensive towel and dirty clothes
Right.
hanger in your room. I
Yeah, I'd like
didn't
another.
buy much of anything. I'm not a big Black Friday shopper. I was never that person that was going to be somewhere at 3 a.m. and, trying to get the deal, the doorbuster deal or whatever. I did actually patronize a couple small Black owned businesses. I wasn't even thinking that, oh, it's Black Friday. Let me buy, black or whatever. They just, that's when I wanted to buy some stuff. So I just kind of bought it. But yeah, I didn't do a whole lot. It was funny though that we talked about, or we're going to talk about, how online spending decreased because there were 2 million more people shopping this season than last season. So the idea that we spent less money is really interesting.
Yeah, good segue to that because I think it wasn't much less in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, we actually spent less, and this is the first time in history that a Black Friday we actually spent less as Americans than we did the previous Black Friday. So that was of note, and I'm wondering why. And
I
you know,
think people, they really pushed that supply chain panic on people. And granted, there is a supply chain issue, don't get me wrong, but the idea that you better get it early was pushed very, and still is being pushed, but was pushed to the point where even back in August, September timeframe, they were like, if you see something, you better get it now, so I think a lot of people probably were a lot more proactive this year, just because they didn't think they would be able to get something by this time.
yeah, because I'm pretty sure Black Friday sales actually started around not Thanksgiving, but around Easter earlier this year. I mean, because I can't remember not seeing stuff for sale for Christmas, going back to when I was still wearing shorts and and t-shirts outside, and that, not that that was that long ago, but it just seems like we've been in this cycle forever. The other thing, and I haven't read news on this. This is just what a Rob thinks, but I think stimulus works. We had a lot of folks that got a lot of stimulus payments, last year. The reason that those were put out is because ultimately the government wanted people to use that money to buy things to continue their normal
Which
habits.
which is a crazy concept. I don't mean to cut you off. We need to stimulate the economy. So instead of stop letting the billionaires with these tax loopholes
Right.
so you
Right.
can get more money to stimulate the economy, here you go passing out chump change to the small folks, the middle, lower income, general population, and expect them, hey, we need y'all to stimulate the economy. But then these millionaires and billionaires over here, it's like, hey, we'll do what we can to let y'all,
All
trickle
y'all gotta do
down.
is pay everybody $15 an hour, and the economy be stimulated as a mom. Like,
Right, right.
like just pay people. That's all. Pay
But that's
people.
that's a conversation for another day.
Right.
So, but I digress.
That being said, I think that it worked. And the fact that, that was year one of the pandemic when nobody was going to the stores. I mean, everybody was sitting at the crib. So when they got the opportunity to see all of the online sales and stuff, because that's, that is basically the way we did stuff last year, was everything was purchased online. I think that that was maybe we did a little better than we probably normally would have done, just because there was so much online purchasing. And I think that now we're back into a mode of people are actually going into the stores, but still not to the level that they used to. So folks aren't necessarily going overboard on buying because they've been able to buy stuff, been able to go in the stores all year, but they're still saying, it's kind of nice buying stuff online. And I think one of the things you miss out on when you do, like if you're like me, I don't plan on stepping in any store that the primary purpose of that store is like hardware or food, until probably February. I don't like being in stores like that. I don't like being in crowds like that. So everything I'm doing is online. But what I noticed is that when I would go to the store, they always catch you with that, you get this thing, but this is stemming from what my mother used to do. I see something that I know somebody wants. Hey, you want me to pick this up? That doesn't really happen too much online. You just go and get what you get. So I wonder if there's any, correlation. Once again, like I said, I'm not looking at any numbers or anything to say, and this is just what Rob thinks. I just think that so many people are buying online those extraneous things that you get. Would you like fries with that? Isn't necessarily happening. I know that
You can't
we try to do
upsell on the internet.
We they do it. I've built Shopify stores that you actually try to upsell. I just don't think that it works quite as well online as it does when you're in the store and you got a human right there talking with you. So like I said, numbers weren't missed significantly. I think we were only 100 million off where we were last year. But that is an interesting trend, just because it is the biggest shopping day of the year. A lot of businesses, this is where they make their money. 20% of their money comes from literally, the week around Thanksgiving.